let's talk about how to manage your money in a way where you can still enjoy life. So step one, and this is the thing I want each and every single one of you to start with, is you need to know your numbers. And there are 3 numbers that I'm going to talk about in this episode. There's 6 numbers in total that you need to know, and I'll tell you about all 6 of them here. But there are 3 that I want you to focus on for this process that we're doing right now. Number 1 is your take-home pay. If you don't know how much money hits your checking account every single month, you may know the gross amount that you make every single month, but you'd be amazed at how many people do not know the net amount, the amount of money that hits your bank account every single month. They do not know what that number is. I want you to know exactly what that number is so that you know what you're working with here. You know exactly where we're going to land, okay? 2 is you need to know your monthly expenses. What is your burn rate? How much money do you spend every single month? If you don't know this number, or you don't have a ballpark of what this number is, it's going to be pretty hard to get ahead financially, because those who don't know these 2 numbers first, how much they spend and how much they burn, are folks who are just wandering through life, especially with their finances. And in reality, they most likely are not optimizing how much they could be saving and investing long term. But also, they're not optimizing how much they could be putting towards vacations or spending more time doing the things that they love. You cannot manage what you have not measured. Now, on top of that, the 3rd number I want you to be tracking here is your net worth. Why? Because your net worth is your scorecard. This is going to tell you, hey, are we progressing year over year, or are we going backwards? Because you can decide, hey, I'm making a little bit more money now. I'm going to take on a new car loan. And all of a sudden you actually went backwards when it came to your net worth instead of forwards. Or maybe you decided to take on a larger mortgage payment. And so you have this big debt on a house. And so you went significantly backwards by buying a new house. So you want to understand where your net worth stands and what your financial picture looks like. Okay. So that is the first thing that we are going to do. Number 2. is I want you to figure out a spending plan. Now, there's a couple of different things that you can do. Number 1 is you can do something like the reverse budget. If you absolutely know, you know yourself, and if you absolutely know, I will never, ever, ever budget, I never, ever will do it. And so you can do the reverse budget, meaning saving off the top and then spending what is left over. So this just is working off of the old classic financial advice that says, hey, pay yourself first, and then everything else falls into line. And that's the same thing. You want to save off the top, save whatever your savings rate is, 20%, 25%, 30%, whatever you think your savings rate needs to be. You want to save that off the top. And when I save that, I want to save it towards my emergency fund, if you have not had that built up yet, up to 6 months. And you want to put it towards your investments. Those are the 2 places we want to put those. Then whatever is left over, we can take those extra dollars and put them towards everything else, from things that we want to enjoy, for food, transportation, housing, all that other good stuff, okay? That's the simple method to do this. Now, for those of you out there who want to optimize this and make sure you have every extra dollar going towards what you actually want, I would recommend what we call the block method. Now, the block method is going to be the way that you can budget your dollars with 4 different categories. So first, you have your fixed expenses. Your fixed expenses are your needs. They are the things that you absolutely cannot live without. So this is going to be housing. This is going to be food. This is going to be transportation. This is going to be medical. Will all be part of these fixed expenses. Okay. Then we have lifestyle. Okay. So lifestyle is the next one. This is going to be the fun stuff, the guilt-free stuff. You know, if you want to go out to drinks with friends, that's where lifestyle comes into play. If you want to go on a vacation, that's where lifestyle goes into play. If you want to go spend more money on a driver or a pickleball paddle, or you want to spend more money on, doing something fun, then that's where that comes into play, is the lifestyle. Okay. So when we look at fixed, we're looking at 50 to 60% of our income going towards fixed. If it's less than 50%, that is A-okay. But if it's more than 60%, then we know we have one of 2 problems. Either we have an income problem or we have an expense problem. And so you may have both of those 2 issues. And so because of that, you want to either cut back or increase your income over that time frame. Next is the foundation. So the reason why I think something like the 50, 30, 20 budget doesn't work well is because there is no foundation component to it. Meaning, if you have debt payments, you need to make sure that this is part of your foundation to ensure that you can get some of those debt payments off. But in addition, you also need to build up your emergency fund. You need a place for your emergency fund to go. And so when we're thinking about the foundation, this is going to be the foundation that builds up your financial life moving forward. And so the foundation is going to be the 3rd component of the block method. where you want to send 10 to 20% towards that foundation, depending. And if you have a lot of debt, that number may even be higher, but it's somewhere in that range. And then lastly, we have future you. So future you obviously is going to be your savings and investments, but we really want this to be your investments going forward. And when it comes to future you, we would like to get your investment number up to 20% as time goes on. That is the goal, is the minimum of at 20%, especially if you want to build wealth. But if you are someone who is just getting started, we can start lower and then move that up over that time frame. Once you have these 4 areas set up, let's go over them again. It is fixed expenses. So this is everything that is a necessity, okay? It's foundation. This is your emergency fund and debt payments. It's building the foundation to make sure that you can get yourself in a really good position financially. You have this rock solid foundation when it comes to managing your finances. Then we have lifestyle. So you can spend more on the things that you love. We want to turn that dial up on lifestyle more and more over time so that you can spend a lot more on the things that you love. And then lastly, the last category we have is future you. This is your investments. This is your 401k contributions. This is your Roth IRA contributions. And this is everything going towards future you. 3 is once we have all this thought through, we want to make sure we automate everything. So when you're building out that budget, you're thinking through, okay, well, if I have this budget in place and I start to utilize a tool like Monarch Money and be able to send these dollars towards the right places, then I can figure out how to automate everything to the right location. And so when we're automating everything, we want to set up automatic transfers to our investments first. Then we want to send it to our savings. Then we want to start to pay our bills and start to automate that process every single time the paycheck hits. If your money sits in checking, it is never going to go to the place that it needs to go to. You need to automatically make those contributions. So you can set up automatic transfers to your investment account, for example. And let's say that you use Fidelity. Well, once that money goes to Fidelity, you can actually send it where it automatically invests in an index fund or an ETF or a stock or whatever else you're interested in investing in. You can automatically invest there. And so everything needs to be automated. Why? Because automation removes your willpower from the equation. And the last thing we want you to do is rely on that willpower. Instead, we want you to build wealth by changing the way that you think about money so you're not spending so much time in the weeds. Automation also allows you to spend less time managing money. In fact, you would probably spend less than 30 minutes every single month managing your dollars if you just automated your finances. So that is a really key component to understanding how all of this works. Now, we have a free automation checklist. If you want to check that out at mastermoney.co/resources, you can go check that out there. That's just going to help you step-by-step learn how to automate your money. We also have a full episode talking about how to automate your finances. We'll leave that down below in the show notes. Step 4 is we want to make sure that we're building up that emergency fund. So we got the system in place now, okay? So we know some of our numbers. We know how much we're making. We know how much we're spending. We have built out a budget by utilizing something like the block method or the reverse budget, and we are automating everything every single time we get paid, okay? So we have all of these 3 things set up. So now we have a system running. The gears are turning. And as we start to see this happen, now we have to have a strategy. We have to understand where our dollars need to go, and we have to understand where we are going. So we're going to think about something like the 1-3-6 method. The 1-3-6 method is going to allow you to build an emergency fund of 6 months of expenses, but it's also going to allow you to make sure you do this in the right order and you pay off things in the right order. So 1 month of expenses is the start. I think everybody needs at a minimum 1 month of expenses, not $1,000 in stopping. That's not going to get you anywhere when life throws 3 things at you to derail you. That means you're going to have to start over again. If you're trying to pay off debt and you only have $1,000 in an emergency fund, you're never going to get anywhere, especially if you have a lot of debt. So instead, what I want you to do is focus your time and energy on getting 1 month of expenses to protect you against life, then paying off that high interest debt.